Anyway, guys, today we're heading into Melbourne to Power Logic to get a dyno tune, or as they say in Japan,
Dino Tune.
Morning, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Today should be a good day. We're driving into Melbourne to see my mate Max at Power Logic. He's going to do a tune on the car. And I'd first like to thank everyone for subscribing and following. This has already got bigger than I expected. I thought during this lockdown that I'd do a couple of how-to videos in the shed that might be helpful to some people, and see anything related to this car, everyone asked questions and liked, so we'll do a bit more work on the ute. So in the past couple of weeks I haven't posted anything, but I've been on the spanners. I'm sure we'll find the limit of something. Hopefully it's not the conrods. I just got back. I have to narrate in the car because I was too busy talking to the boys all day rather than recording like I should have been. We decided to put it on E85, and they drained the tank. It's pretty clever how they did it, just hopping off the return line under the car and using the electric pump in the tank to just pump it out. They put E85 in it, put it on the dyno. Look, it did look like it was just starting to run out of fuel a little bit. So I'll give it another run anyway, put a little bit more boost into it, and yeah, had to get out of it early. You can see on this graph here, with the two graphs overlaid, that anything over about 350 kilowatts on E85 started to run out of fuel. He pulled the pin at about 415 or 416, whatever it made, not revving it right out. But you can see that the way it was climbing, if you had stayed into it on that, it's easily going to get in the mid 400s, no problem. And that was on its first run with a little bit more boost into it, so he could get a fair bit angry with the tune if he wanted to. So we all had a chat about it, decided it was probably best to put it back on 98, where you can push it a little bit harder, just need a bit less fuel. So I apologise for the mucking around, and they drained the tank again. We actually sat around having lunch. They even bought me a pizza, so it's very nice of it. It made me feel like one of the boys. So put 98 back in the tank, put it on again, started getting into the boost. I'll tell you, standing beside it when it's doing it, it looks a lot more full on than on the video. It's loud. You can see the engine twisting. It's working pretty hard. It looks like the thing's making 1,000 horsepower. You see it on the graph there. It's like, oh, it's doing it pretty easy. That's a very conservative number for one of these. When we started getting into a bit back on the 98, it blew a couple of fireballs out the back, and I was pretty excited about it. I thought they were big. And Musti, who's Max's nephew, he says, yeah, that's not a fireball. So check out, this is one of the biggest fireballs on a barrow I've ever seen. That makes 600 at the wheels with a standard motor. So you can see when it's a tuner's own car and he's happy to keep pushing it. If it breaks, it's his. You see what they can do. You've got to have the tune pretty spot on to consistently run that sort of power, and he gives it a fair hiding. So with the customers' cars like this, even going into the early 500s, he's still been a bit conservative. Look, it's a shame about the fuel pump not quite doing its job properly. Look, we think it's a voltage drop back to the pump. I didn't know the wiring on these is pretty flimsy, so I'll beef that up a little bit, and we'll probably chuck a filter in at the same time. So we'll sort out that little issue there. But look, 390 kilowatts. I know for these barrows, it's a very modest number. It's a lot quicker than what I was expecting to be. For the number 390 doesn't look high in today's world, but for a ute that handles so poorly, 390 is a heap of power. I did not expect it to quite go like that. I've had similar powered cars before. I took this tiny little clip on the way home because I thought, oh, I've got to show you something how this goes. It's pretty quick. So to fang it at road speed, it's a heap of power, more than enough. If you had a real good tyre and you're going out the track and you're doing high-speed roll racing on a smooth surface, yeah, fair enough. You can't have enough power. But for the roads around here where they're really rough and undulating, the surface is really poor, and I'm doing some windy road stuff, trying to fang it second, third gear, any more power just make it harder and harder to drive. But we can't leave more power just on the table there, so we'll just get more fuel pressure and go back and get more power. You can't leave it like that. But look, if people still follow the channel and are still interested in this car, I'll just keep building it and building it. If there's a support there, I'll keep going. Probably using it as an excuse to just buy more car parts. But shoot us a like, subscribe, let us know if you want to keep seeing more stuff on it, and we'll just keep making it bigger and bigger. Also, a mate of mine's building one of the more serious barrows out there, because I know this one is more on the conservative side. This is sort of your homegrown backyard one that anyone can do for not a lot of dough. But the one that he's building at the moment is pretty much the biggest of everything. That'll be featured in the channel in the coming weeks. So look, thank you for Power Logic for the day. If you've tuned this thing 4 times, driven 4 different tunes of this car, and it's never once coughed or misfired. It's just been clean power every time. You've always done it in one day. So yeah, I can't thank you guys enough. I'm sure everyone that goes there will find the same thing. They're good guys. Also, we'll get on the road and give the thing a good hiding, and I'll show you how it goes properly. Because yeah, I've got that little clip at the moment just coming home, but I wanted to put something up as quickly as I could. So thank you for watching again, and I'll post something up pretty soon.